Hello and welcome. I'm Uncle Badger and I wish you all good health. I hope you're all well. That's what I wanted to say. Today I'm going to be looking through another oracle deck. It's an oracle deck rather than a tarot deck. And it's the Magical Messages from the Fairies oracle deck. But it's try and get the lights not to reflect off it. Yeah, I've used this a fair amount. Some of the gold has come off the lettering, like at the top, the magical and the fairies. It's Magical Messages from the Fairies. It's a Doreen Virtue deck. I know there's been a bit of a controversy with her in the past. Yeah, this isn't a video for that. Apparently she gave up all rights to any profits made from her, any future sales from her oracle decks, and I think they were planning on publishing them without her name. So you might find, if you want to buy this brand new, that it is just Magical Messages from the Fairies oracle deck, and it might not say who it's by, but it might have a similar box cover to that. Yes, it's a 44 card deck. Yeah, this is one of the ones I've used quite a bit. I've done a video on the Earth Magic deck by Mr. Farrer, and I've used this in conjunction with that, and yeah, both that and this are my first two decks. Yeah, and with this one I'll put a link to it as I normally do in the description below, and if you're one to not particularly like Doreen Virtue anymore, apparently profits will not be going to her anymore. Yes, she's made decisions. I hope everything goes well for her with her new spiritual life. But onto the deck itself. Proper card box, proper thick edging. There we go. Quite a tight box. There we go. And I will start off by showing the booklet. Same as the box art. Good thick book. And this is an oracle deck, so it's not related to any of the tarot systems. So yeah, you normally get a good thick book with an oracle deck, and this will teach you the meaning of all the cards. Yeah, they are independent of any tarot system, so they won't work in conjunction with yeah, it's a separate system to, say, the Rider-Waite system or the Thoth or Lenormand system. It's its own system. But anyway, good thick deck. I think I've folded one of the pages over at one point. You get a good... Try and flip that over. You get a good couple of pages worth on each card. And yeah, quite pleased with it. You get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 page introduction with stuff about how to read it, read a spread. Yeah, and on we go. Yeah, you should be able to still put them in a similar reading pattern to a tarot deck, so you can have do the cross, having a card in the north, south, east and west, or a 3-card system if one should desire to do that. So you can get a good variety of different readings, different spreads, like you would with a tarot deck. But onto the deck itself. You find that the deck is gold edged. You can sort of see the light dazzling off that there. Yeah, that's better. You can just see that there. It goes all the way around. This is the back. They're quite glossy. You can sort of see the light shining off that. You're trying to not get the lights to dance off the back again. You get that stuff. And it's got a degree of thickness to it, which is nice. There we are. Yeah, this isn't in the same order as it is in the book, but I'm going to show off each card anyway. And with these, yeah, you do get a sentence at the bottom of each card to denote the meaning. Autumn. Yeah, and you get the sentence can be quite lengthy at the bottom there. There you are. Be yourself. Yeah, there was a time when I used to do quite a lot of readings outside, and there was a certain spot I used to sit at by the river, new home, and there was a big sycamore tree. Used to sit under it and do a load of readings with this deck and the with this deck and the Earth Magic deck, and I'm sure there were a lot of fairies behind me just coming to peer over my shoulder to see what I was doing, and that was quite a special sort of. It was a special occasion for me. Perfect timing. Yeah, I went back to that. Yeah, they've started trying to put flood defences up around that area. The tree's still there, but they fenced it off while they finish doing stuff. It's been fenced off for about a year now. It's just them putting turf down now. And I wish they'd hurry up. That's almost sort of 1.5 summers that have gone without me being able to get to the fairy tree. Admit your true feelings to yourself. Yeah, they've got quite a diverse set of artists coming to work on this deck. I'm sure they're all credited in the back of the in the booklet. Pregnancy. Yeah, I hope they get the fairy tree sorted out soon. I keep nicknaming it the fairy tree. I'm certain I saw fairies there. Does it? I don't. Yeah, it's just, I don't really care if anyone believes me or not. But your wish is granted. But yeah, they've got a wide variety of artists working on this deck. Holiday. I'm quite impressed by the information they put at the bottom. The amount of stuff they put at the bottom. We got birthday. So in a sense it is quite easy to be able to read, to read a spread, even if you're very unfamiliar with how an oracle deck works or anything. Sort of makes it a touch easier to learn. You almost don't need the book in one sense. I'd still go through the book, do readings in unison with the book though. Everything's okay. New career. Debt paid off. Healing, healed, healer. Healing, healed, healer. Express your individuality. It's quite fun, I sort of think. Let go. Ah, I do like that. Yeah. Child ready to leave the nest, as it were. Marriage. Dietary change. Here we go, business venture. Sort of seem more dwarven in nature, these ones, these beings. They're still sort of classed as a fey creature in some regard. I suppose it depends on who you ask. Well, affirmations. I think some people class dwarves as being dwarves, but I still think dwarves are sort of more like an earth fairy, in the sense they're sort of an elemental being. Gnomes seem to be a bit different though. Assertiveness. I think gnomes first came about rather than them being a mythological creature from centuries, if not thousands of years ago. Gnomes came about roughly about 400 years ago and were first mentioned in, I think, Paracelsus in his work. He was an alchemist, and it was they were used as an alchemical metaphor in a lot of his working. So yeah, which makes me think it sort of, they could be related to the mechanical pixies one might see if one is a fervent follower of Terence McKenna. Yeah, if one were to use the same helpful sources as Terence McKenna, then one might meet the mechanical pixies, who might be related to the original gnomes. But anyway, on to these. Next we have travel. Walk away. Just smiling at the wings. Look at the background on that. Love life. Goodbye to the old, hello to the new. As I probably suggested earlier, this is probably quite a good sort of oracle deck for one who wishes to start in reading oracle decks, if fairies are something that appeal to folk. Here we are. Spiritual teacher. Yeah, and it's it's pretty good. Yeah, I would recommend it. I can sort of split how good the deck is away from its connection to its creator, Doreen Virtue, who doesn't seem to want any connection with oracle decks anymore. So if one were to consider it that sort of way, this is a very good deck. Practice, practice, practice. It's very good if one were to like fairies, and if one were looking for something sort of suitable for a beginner in oracle reading. Vegetarian. I think I might have to take up vegetarian. I might try, well, not have to, but I think I might take up vegetarianism for a little bit. Patience, please. Yeah, the wings in the background, the detail on the leaves in that. Get some exercise. Do some research. Spring. Whom do you need to forgive? Ask for what you want. Winter. The shapes in her wings and the tail. Connect with nature. I think that may be the same artist as the one where there's the fairy at the riverside, and I mentioned about the detailing in the leaves in the background. But anyway, here we go. This is the last card. Your desire is within reach. There we go. That was Magical Messages from the Fairies by Doreen Virtue. Like I normally do, I'll leave a link down below to where you can get a copy for yourself if you so wish. And as I'm under the impression that nothing from the purchase of a deck will go to Doreen Virtue. Should one know about some of the recent controversy behind Doreen Virtue. But I'll leave that for another time. I think there's plenty on YouTube about what sort of happened in that sort of regards, and I'll leave it to other people to describe if one should be curious to find out a bit more. But I quite like the deck. Seems to be a decent enough beginner deck for one wanting to learn about oracles reading, and for someone who rather likes fairies. And that's where I'll end the video. Goodbye everyone. I wish you all a good health. Bye bye.